I made 1 million Naira on Upwork as a complete newbie to the platform in just 10 days. Here's how I did it. Before we get into the video, hey, I'm Vicky Johnson, a brand and web designer working a full-time remote job and freelancing on the side. Join me as I document my journey making a living on the internet with the hope that it can help someone, somewhere, who's looking to do the same. And if that's you, then be sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss an update from me. Alright, let's get into the video. So earlier in the year, my friend and I had been considering trying out Upwork because why not? But I never made time to check out the platform until later on in the year, and I'm glad I did. Before now, I've always gotten clients through referrals, sometimes cold emailing, but mostly referrals. I've never used any freelance platform to get a job until now, so this is me being completely new to using any freelancing platform whatsoever. So here's a step-by-step of everything I did that led to 1 million Naira in 10 days. And if you're watching this and you've never used Upwork before and you want to replicate this result or even get better results, then stick around because I'm telling you everything. Disclaimer, I'm not an Upwork guru. I'm just someone who tested the waters of Upwork. So take everything I say with a pinch of salt or carry it on your head like a bag of rice. It's up to you. So my first step was to plan my schedule. Because I work a full-time job on the weekdays, I was only going to be able to do Upwork jobs on the weekends. So my 10 days of Upworking were spread over 5 weekends, 2 days a week, Saturday and Sunday, every week for 5 weeks. Obviously, you can do yours at a stretch if you have a lot of free time. You don't have to wait until weekends. I initially planned to do only 4 weekends, that's 8 days. But one of the clients I did a job for on day 5 or 6 reached out for a second job, so I threw in one more weekend. The second step was to set up an Upwork account. I had this Upwork account I created back in 2019, I think, but I never used it. And luckily for me, I still had the password saved, so I was able to access the account. And thankfully, because later I found out that freelancers who try to create multiple accounts on Upwork get disabled on both accounts almost immediately. So if I had created a new account, I definitely would have been disabled and you won't be watching this video right now. So if you've never had an account on Upwork before, then create one. But if you have, use your old one. I also found that my account had stacked up about 160 connects. So Upwork Connects are virtual tokens that freelancers use to connect with clients. So it's like the currency you spend when sending proposals to potential clients. And you get 10 free connects every month. So they had been stacking up on my account all the while that I wasn't using it. And that was so great. So yeah, I completed the legal stuff and set up my withdrawal method. The third step was research. I did my research. I watched a couple of Upwork beginner-friendly videos on YouTube, like the one you're watching now, so congrats, you're doing step 3 already. I also read some articles and some resources on Upwork. All of that was just to get enough knowledge to help me come up with a strategy that I could use to get jobs. Steps 4 to 7 are an implementation of that strategy. Fourth step was setting up my Upwork profiles. I was very deliberate about this part. Instead of listing all the skills that I have in this life, I narrowed it down to only a few. I knew I was going to offer just 2 services on Upwork, logo design and web design. So I created 2 specialized profiles. You can have up to 2 profiles, by the way. Actually 3. 2 specialized profiles and 1 general profile. So I set up 1 specialized profile for graphic design and 1 for web design. And then a general profile that kind of summarizes the 2 services. I updated my experience, and most importantly, I positioned myself as an expert in these 2 fields. Step 5 was setting up my portfolio. For this, I used the most relevant work I had done in the past for each profile. And I made sure I put my best foot forward. So for logo design, I used some of my best logo design projects. And for web design, I displayed some of the best websites I've built. Step 6 was the hard decision that involved setting up a bunch of rules that I had to follow strictly. The hardest decision I had to make was to only apply to jobs $150 and below. So instead of applying for full branding projects or a full web design project, I applied to smaller and quicker jobs. This was hard because I was like, in the real world, I don't charge $150. So why will I be charging $150 or less on Upwork? But I took this advice from one of the videos that I watched during my research, where the author explained that as a newbie on Upwork, you should start small and scale upwards. Because getting your first clients will be much easier if they don't have to pay you that much. A part of me kind of knew this was true because Upwork clients trust Upwork, not you. So it doesn't matter whether you bring your track record from anywhere outside of Upwork. If you like, show them the mansions that you built from design. What they give a shit about is what Upwork has to say about you. in terms of successful jobs completed on the platform and past client reviews on the platform. So I decided to charge $150 or less per job. In fact, my first job was $5. I won't lie, it hurt my ego. But yeah, I did it anyway because I wanted to get that first client on Upwork. Such will never happen again. A couple of other rules that I set for myself were to only apply for jobs I could complete within 2 days, because I literally had only 2 days each week. Jobs that have no more than 10 proposals already to avoid unnecessary competition, and jobs that were posted no more than 24 hours ago to avoid wasting time on jobs that the client has forgotten they posted. I also looked out for invites, interviews, and hires. If the client had already invited multiple freelancers to check out the job, or they were already interviewing someone, or had already hired someone and still left the job open, I would not send a proposal. And lastly, I made sure that all the jobs I applied to were posted by clients whose payment methods have been verified and have a higher rate of over 70%. If this is a lot of information, you can pause the video and go back, watch it slowly. Slow and steady wins the race. That's a lie. Okay, so my 6th step was crafting cover letter templates. I crafted 2 separate templates, one for each of the services I intended to offer. These cover letters were tailored to small jobs, like I said, because I was only going to apply to quick fix jobs and no long-term projects, because I only had 2 days a week. And I was looking for jobs $150 and under. So in my cover letters, I started with a short and friendly introduction, trying not to be too formal, while still positioning myself as an expert. I made room to outline my deliverables on each job and a specific timeline to complete the job. And like I said before, my timeline was never more than 2 days. Honestly, the longest job I did took me about 5 hours and the shortest took about 30 minutes. But in my cover letter, I would always give a timeline of 1 hour to 2 days, depending on the job, just to give myself enough time to procrastinate. So my cover letters followed these templates. A simple hi or hello followed by a short introduction and a link to my portfolio, clear deliverables tailored to the job, a specific timeline to complete the job, and 2 or 3 portfolio highlights of similar projects I worked on in the past. I completed a total of 10 jobs, and this was the same template that I used in all my proposals. Step 7 was to deliver like a pro. I made sure that I went over and beyond for each job, even if it meant putting in an extra 30 minutes or an hour just to make sure that my delivery was the best that it could be. I didn't half-ass any job because of the price or anything. I treated each project with as much professionalism as I would if it came from a referral. And after every job, I asked the client to leave me a kind review on Upwork. This helped me gain trust of future clients whom I sent proposals to. So yeah, after 10 days of rinsing and repeating this process, I had made a total of about $650 from 10 jobs, and I withdrew my earning using Payoneer, so I had to pay a $35 withdrawal fee or thereabouts, but I got a good exchange rate since I was using Payoneer. And the total when I converted it to Naira was about 1.1 million or so. And yeah, that's it. Let me know if this was helpful, and if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer. Also, if you'll be jumping on this, make sure to come back and update me because I want to know how it goes. And if you have a younger sibling who is always asking for urgent 2K, share this video with them. Just send the link to them because come next year, everyone has to be independent. The economy is not smiling with anybody. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications because I'm just getting started. See ya.